Welcome to Entrepreneurial Edge. Now, you might think you know cars. You might even have a passing familiarity with a certain Japanese brand that begins with M and ends in Mazda. But I wager, and I wager quite confidently, that you don't know half of what there is to know about this company. Today, we're diving into 15 things you didn't know about Mazda. Buckle up, it's going to be a fascinating ride. And while you're at it, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Now, most car companies like to boast about their long and illustrious heritage, usually involving some chap in a shed with a spanner and a dream. Mazda, however, started in a rather more curious fashion. You see, before they were bolting together gearboxes and whatnot, Mazda was in the cork business. Yes, cork. Apparently, the founder, Jujiro Matsuda, had a good eye for opportunity, and in 1921, he figured Japan needed corks. Artificial ones, mind you, for the military. Sadly, the First World War threw a bit of a spanner in the works, leaving poor old Jujiro with a factory full of cork and not much else. But rather than admitting defeat, he pivoted, as they say in the business world, and turned his attention to something a bit more automotive. Now, when you think of Mazda, you might picture sleek sports cars or reliable family saloons, but back in the early days, their automotive ambitions were, shall we say, a tad more modest. For 14 years, Mazda produced just one model, the Mazda-Go Auto Rickshaw. Picture, if you will, a three-wheeled contraption that looked more like a motorized wheelbarrow than a car. Not exactly a thoroughbred, was it? But then again, this was 1931, and Japan, much like the rest of the world, was in the midst of a rather nasty economic depression. People needed basic transport, and the Mazda-Go, bless its little three-wheeled heart, provided just that. The year is 1960. The world is obsessed with rock and roll, and a certain someone named John F. Kennedy is about to become the President of the United States. Meanwhile, in Japan, Mazda decides it's time to move on from three-wheeled contraptions and have a go at a proper passenger car. Enter the Mazda R360 Coupe, a car that was, by all accounts, rather adorable. Small, lightweight, and with a rather cheeky rear window that wrapped around the back, the R360 was a hit in Japan, cementing Mazda's reputation for building affordable and, dare I say, rather stylish small cars. A global automotive powerhouse. Now, you might think that with giants like Toyota and Honda around, Mazda would be relegated to the sidelines of the automotive world. But you'd be wrong. Mazda is, in fact, Japan's fifth largest automaker. And globally, they're no slouch either, comfortably occupying the 15th spot. Not bad for a company that started out making corks, wouldn't you say? The Miata, a love affair with the open road. The Mazda MX-5, or as it's affectionately known in some parts of the world, the Miata. This little roadster, with its pop-up headlights and cheeky grin, has captured the hearts of driving enthusiasts the world over. And with good reason. It's a pure, unadulterated driving experience, a car that feels as if it's an extension of your own body. No wonder it's the best-selling two-seater sports car of all time, with over 1 million units sold. A Guinness World Record, no less. An owl in flight, the story behind the Mazda logo. Have you ever looked at the Mazda logo and thought, now what exactly is that supposed to be? Well, wonder no more. That stylized M with its wings spread wide is actually meant to resemble an owl in flight, or at least that's what they say now. Apparently, when it was first designed back in 1997, it wasn't intended to represent an owl at all. But hey, who are we to argue with a good story? Now, most car companies are content with naming their vehicles after things like animals, cities, or even, in some rather unfortunate cases, failed marketing campaigns. Mazda, however, decided to go one step further. You see, the name Mazda is a rather clever play on words. It's a nod to the founder's name, Jujiro Matsuda, but it also happens to be a reference to Ahura Mazda, the Zoroastrian god of light and wisdom. Makes you look at that badge on the bonnet in a whole new light, doesn't it? The automotive world is a fickle mistress full of alliances, mergers, and the occasional hostile takeover. And Mazda, despite its independent streak, is no stranger to these entanglements. Back in 1979, Ford, in all its American glory, decided it needed a bit of Japanese know-how, and acquired a 7% stake in Mazda. This partnership, which eventually saw Ford's ownership rise to a rather hefty 33.3%, lasted for several decades until 2015, when Ford decided to divest itself of most of its stake. Now, most car companies are content with launching a new model with a fancy advertising campaign or a glitzy event at a motor show. Not Mazda. Oh no, when they decided to celebrate the MX-5, they did it in style. Back in 2013, in the Netherlands of all places, Mazda gathered together a staggering 683 MX-5s, creating the largest parade of Mazda cars ever seen. That's a lot of Miatas, even for the Dutch. The Rotary Revolution, Mazda's Le Mans Triumph, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's a grueling test of man and machine, a race where only the bravest and the most innovative dare to compete. And in 1991, Mazda, with its unconventional rotary engine, conquered them all. The Mazda 787B, a screaming, whirling dervish of an engine, became the first and, to this day, only rotary-powered car to win the legendary race. A city rebuilt. Mazda and the Hiroshima bombing. The year is 1945. The world is on the brink of peace, but in Hiroshima, tragedy strikes. The atomic bomb, a weapon of unimaginable destruction, devastates the city, killing hundreds of thousands of people, including 400 employees of Toyo Kogyo, the company that would later become Mazda. It's a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict and a testament to the resilience of the human spirit that Mazda, from the ashes of war, rose again to become a global automotive powerhouse. The rotary engine, Mazda's guarded treasure. The rotary engine. It's a thing of beauty, a marvel of engineering, and Mazda's pride and joy. So much so that when Henry Ford himself, the titan of the American automotive industry, flew to Japan in the 1970s, checkbook in hand, hoping to acquire the rights to Mazda's rotary technology, he was politely, but firmly, shown the door. Mazda, you see, was determined to keep its technological marvel to itself. Now, when you think of car safety features, you probably think of airbags, crumple zones, and all sorts of other modern marvels. But back in 1975, Mazda was already ahead of the curve, introducing a rather ingenious anti-hijack feature in their Road Pacer model. This being the 1970s, it wasn't some fancy computer system, but a simple yet effective mechanical device that locked the car doors once you reached a speed of 10 miles per hour. Try nicking a car with that, my friend. What do you get when you combine a Hollywood heartthrob, a passion for motorsports, and a certain Japanese car company? Why, a special edition Mazda CX-5, of course. That's right, Patrick Dempsey, better known to some as Dr. McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy, was such a fan of Mazda, and their racing program in particular, that they decided to honor him with his very own special edition CX-5. Mazda's appeal, it seems, extends beyond the realm of mere mortals and into the world of superheroes and street racing. The Mazda RX-8, with its sleek lines and unconventional doors, was deemed stylish enough for Wolverine himself, making a starring appearance in X-Men 2. And let's not forget the Mazda RX-7, which, thanks to its performance credentials and undeniable coolness, earned itself a role in not one but two of the Fast and the Furious films. Well, there you have it. 15 things you probably didn't know about Mazda. From humble beginnings in the cork industry to rotary-powered triumphs at Le Mans, Mazda's journey has been anything but dull. They've faced challenges, embraced innovation, and consistently produced cars that are, dare I say, rather delightful to drive. Thanks for watching Entrepreneurial Edge. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights. See you in the next video.